and now we are going to finish this extreme tasting with the Gruesome Twosome. The Batman and Robin of the whole thing, the dynamic duo, the beers that really, I suppose, are the ones that a lot of people are googling and looking for, because they obviously come with a bit of a reputation, these two. Tactical Nuclear Penguin, great name, and Sink the Bismarck, great name.
Great story.
Great story. But we'll get on to that. So let's start at the very beginning, or at the very end, with Tactical Nuclear Penguin. If you're a fan of BeerSweden, if you've been into the blog, if you've seen the Facebook pages, you'll know that I've actually tried this on a ski slope with my crash helmet on. Very useful for me, obviously, being an Englishman and skiing. Tactical Nuclear Penguin, a thumping 32% of alcohol. That made it, at the time it was launched, I believe, for a very short space of time, the world's strongest beer. It has since been superseded by a German beer, which has since been superseded by the beer that's actually on Richard's left, which I think is currently the world's strongest beer.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, today. Maybe by the time you see this it won't be. But anyway, strong stuff. Let me just do a little zoomy zoom if I can. Now, can you tell me, Richard, anything about this beer? I mean, how it was made? Because you were there, weren't you?
I was there. Yeah. They actually took 1,700 liters of beer. Put it in an ice cream factory where it was like -22, quite nippy.
Mm.
And
it's like Umeå, where I live.
Umeå, yeah.
In summer.
In midsummer, yeah.
Mm.
And it stayed there for a number of weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, and sort of reduced the water there, and out came this. And,
I'm interested to know, have you any idea, and this is a curveball I know, but any idea the type of yeast that's used in this beer to actually allow it to trade up to 32%?
I can answer that.
Can you really?
Yes, I have absolutely no idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, so you heard that here first,
Yeah.
on BeerSweden TV.
Yeah.
We have absolutely no idea. So let's give this a little
Yeah.
whirl.
Just another point here is, out of the 1,700 liters,
Yeah.
roughly about 170 liters came out. So they lost about 90%.
90%. They just threw it away.
Mm,
Okay.
good for us.
But this 10%, that's left,
Yeah.
is, I think on the nose it's fair to say, it's, as I said before, I think actually immortalised now in the words, "Oh my God." Oh my good God. Oh my good God. And that's still very relevant. Oh my good God. You're getting a very spiritus, alcoholic vapour type of note to this. That's fair enough, that's fair to say, isn't it? But in there as well, there's a certain sweetness through the alcohol, I'd have thought.
Got fruitiness there.
A little bit of fruitiness there too as well. So it's not just a one-trick pony, this one. It's obviously alcoholic, but there's a little bit of character underneath that too.
Still a little bit of CO2 in there.
It is, a little bit of fizz.
Yeah.
Surprising for a beer this strong. Obviously looking at it, we're pouring it up in a slightly different glass. This doesn't just coat the glass, I think it actually etches itself into it.
Mm.
I think this is probably, you have to throw the glass away once you've used it with this one. You can't actually wash it. I've got a bit on my fingers. This literally does stick. It's like sort of Spider-Man hands now. I can't actually get rid of it. It really is sticky. Quite sweet initially up front. Actually, there's a blast of sweetness. It dies very quickly because what you're left with, very very quickly after the sweet front to it, you're getting this very almost dry. Getting a certain, to me, a reference point in Smokehead, in the Paradox. Of all the beers that we've tried today, I would say that they are the most similar. Would that be right? But I think this is probably this is on its own really in terms of extreme and in terms of flavour profile. This is way out there, way out in the forest cycling, as this Swedish would say. A little bit, to me, it's the equivalent of, what's that Swedish strongman that was in Magnus
Samuelsson.
Samuelsson. This to me has the kind of like all the virtues of him doing the tango on Let's Dance. It is huge, and yet it has a certain amount of grace to it, in an odd way. Do you know what I mean? I think that's kind of what this beer is all about. It is massive, and yet it manages to put a few moves down. Yeah? Does that make sense? Tactical Nuclear Penguin, interesting stuff. Balanced? No. Big? Yes. So that's only 32% though.
It is only 32%.
Yes.
It's on the weak side.
It's on the weak side, but we can actually go one better than that.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
We're going to finish this extreme beer BrewDog tasting off with the current, we believe, world's strongest beer, brown paper bag, literally. Okay.
Sink the Bismarck.
Sink the Bismarck.
Very nice wrapping.
Yes, very attractive looking bottle. You can hold that up, Richard, and we'll do a little zoom. May I say, it's like Christmas and your birthday all wrapped into one.
Here we are.
And here we are. Now we can actually zoom in again, perhaps, to the real deal. There we have it. Look at that, all pink and blue. Yes.
Yeah.
Very Eurovision Song Contest sort of label, I think there.
You even get a sort of a nose so you can close it.
Now this is a good idea because actually when I opened Tactical back on the ski slope, it's so huge that you actually really can only drink a few centilitres of it, even me. And it would have been quite handy to be able to actually cork it again, save it for a bit later.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Did you hear that? We had a little bit of gun smoke, a bit of carbonation there, and a beer that's 41%. Interesting.
Should have a pint glass for this.
We should do really, shouldn't we?
Anyway.
Well, let's. Oh,
look at the colour.
Now straight away, interesting. Wasn't expecting that.
No.
I'm going to try and zoom on this one because this is actually not what I was expecting at all. Now, can you see that? This is at least half the sort of shade of Tactical Nuclear, which was very dark. This one is actually very ale-like in colour.
Red ale.
Red ale. It's or mahogany, fox fir maybe even. Wasn't expecting that. No head. Was expecting that. Let's give this a little swirl. Now, I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. To me, this trumps Tactical Nuclear. We can get a little head there. If you just swirl it enough, you are actually getting some head action, which is pretty sensational in a beer this strength. You're getting hops, lots of hops, citrus action again. We're going back to almost sort of American hoppy sort of vibe.
This is like punk IPA on steroids.
It's the surprise of the bunch for me. I was expecting it to be practically undrinkable at 41%, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all good fun and everything like that, but does it actually taste nice? Yes, it does, strangely enough. Lovely nose to it. You've got caramel. It's very nice caramel. It was like fudge with hops overlaid on the top of them. I'm impressed, Richard, I have to say. This to me trumps Tactical Nuclear Penguin hands down.
It does.
Yeah?
This is fantastic.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Because I think this, I mean, for 41%, I think this is incredibly clever beer.
This is even better than most of the whiskies I've tried.
This is absolutely, and we're talking whiskey strength here now.
Yeah, 41%.
41%. So, I think we've ended on a bit of a high. Is that possible? We've ended on a bit of a high. Richard, thanks very much for coming over today and for giving us the opportunity to do this. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time I'm going to be drinking something that I hope is far less alcoholic, far more mainstream. So until then, Richard, here's the bit we have to do.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers and beers.
Cheers and beers.